monsters. At the Universitas Magistrorum? Why now? Oh no! They're coming! It's no use. The table won't hold out much longer. The weapons. Where are the weapons? Of course. All the lab equipment was upgraded after the inspection last week, but the new weapons haven't been allocated yet. I'm done for. Is anyone there? I need help! Ah! Stay back! Please stay back! Please!
What's that?
Rear. So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
Cylindus? No, don't do it! Cylindus! Cylindus!
I told you, Rerir. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No! No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lowly pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know why? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Rerir, thank goodness we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair or desire. We all have our own.
Rerir. Rerir.
Cylindus?
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice. I will find you. And then... You can give me your answer.
So that's how the Raker of Solnari was born. A monster created by circumstance is a monster all the same. Viewing other people's thoughts for too long can get uncomfortable. Right now, I'm feeling a strong sense of loathing. In a nutshell, the story of Conria is what happens when the truth falls by the wayside. Everyone tells little white lies, and before long, you have a huge pack of lies that destroys everything. Phew. Time to get back. His past is filled with sorrow, but the tale of any fallen civilization is one of endless tragedy. Cruel as it may be, that was Conria's fate. Everyone, I'm back. Can I get a standing ovation?
Never! How are you holding up? Feeling okay? She's fine. Boss is a pro.
Yes, I'm fine. You will have seen the events of Rarir's life through my thoughts. It's now clear that he is just a regular nobody, driven by personal tragedy, as he said himself.
I mostly agree. There's only so much we can know about him from his memories alone, but they did give us a clear glimpse into his life in Conria. However, I would not consider Rarir to be a nobody. He was deeply involved in the events of that era. Yet, when the catastrophe of a generation strikes, nobody is safe.
Sounds to me like you're speaking in riddles again. Is this you urging me not to abandon the people of Nodcry in their hour of need?
That's not what I meant. Although I do hope you choose to remain a part of the plan. Without you, the mission ahead will be all but impossible.
Then try to remember that I respond better to the carrot than the stick. And I don't appreciate being bossed around. Now, as for you, Missy, you were excellent. You stuck to the rules of the ceremony and kept your mouth shut the entire time. Bravo.
Cool. So, can you fill me in on the deets now? Most of what I saw went right over my head.
Patience. You'll hear the whole story, don't you worry. But let's meet up with the others first. It will save me narrating it twice. Yehoda?
Yes, boss. Let me get that door for ya.
That's more like it. For a moment there, I was worried you'd forgotten about the first clause of your employment contract.
Forgive my curiosity, but what does the first clause say?
It says I gotta do the annoying stuff that boss is too lazy to do for herself. Like opening the door, pouring the tea, yada yada.
Is that right?
If something is in the contract, it's because she willingly agreed to it. Rest assured that the Curatorium abides by the very strictest of labor policies. You don't seriously think I'm cruel enough to treat her like my slave. In any case, I've hardly shied away from my share of the work today. Hope I don't catch Flintz and Varka lounging about in their chairs, enjoying a leisurely cup of tea. There's nothing I dislike more than other people enjoying themselves while I'm hard at work. Oh no.
Sorry to disturb you, but we seem to have run into some trouble.
Evidently so. Don't worry, I'm not about to leave you to fend for yourselves. I'm not that kind of boss. And it would go against the Curatorium's labor policy.
I'm sorry? What did you hear me say? I wasn't talking about labor policy.
Wait. How long have I been standing here?
Not long. You just appeared by the door a moment ago.
Boss, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
We've been tricked. We never left at all. Somehow I hallucinated that whole scene back inside the office.
Hallucinated? But how?
How indeed. Chessboard in a carefully calculated manner. And nobody has access to this chess set but me.
So you control everything in here?
More or less. But yes, it's a special technique of mine.
Has anything like this ever happened before? Uh-oh. I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance. I want to do the whole name-dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before.
A statue with the head of a bird.
That's Thoth, the Ibis King, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Goat King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret. Let's take a look.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over.
Hold on!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive, huh?
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course.
When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seems I alerted him. I was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at first.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new information came to light. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million Mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. He led me to a gate deep inside the temple, and there he made a deal with me. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Reicher of Solnari's background. I am pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed. The Reicher of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Conrian subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please save any questions or comments for the end.
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Notcry. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Tevat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerir's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lauma, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge, others of a gateway to the unknown. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses. We cannot know whether it truly exists.
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some idea of where the Moon Gate leads to?
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would open at my command, but...
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon. But as never mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Here of Solnari. I'm afraid this is one mystery we may have to leave unsolved for now.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rerir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the here of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the Wild Hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land.
So your theory is that Rerir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the Wild Hunt is a distributed phenomenon, rather than a unified one?
Makes sense to me. Explains why the Wild Hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was whole to begin with, and he wants to be whole again.
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse, has kept him alive.
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my suspicions. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already, it has greatly enriched my understanding of the entity we face.
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rerir, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes out to you.
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies, and the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone. Yet, none of that can begin to compare with the complexity of human life.
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been through an awful lot today. Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation. Nice room. Oh, I'm not coming in, though.
Why not? It's just a hotel room.
If it's all the same, I'll just stay out here. I might not look the part, but I'm technically a knight. Barging into people's private quarters isn't the kind of thing we do. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be aware of. Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chess set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. Their powers are beyond our comprehension. It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
Honestly, my mom figured that might be the case. So, how long have we got?
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is. What a long and storied history it has. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will. Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days, at most.
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way we can pull this off without his help. You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate it. All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise it's gonna work yet, but at least it's a start. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear this.
All right, so here's what we're thinking. We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Reher of Solnari, or none of us stand a chance.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach this, you'd better make sure you're ready. To be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure. Are you really willing to take all this on?
I want to do everything within my power. The Rehyr of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, And if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk for everyone else involved.
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just march towards danger without a moment's hesitation. Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of your safety.
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.